botella que funda pa' gastar. Esta noche tú y yo nos vivimos la película. Luces, cámara, la acción, después en mi recámara. En el duelo no se sabe quién ganará. So baile, baby, es ese booty retrocede. Que me encanta la manera en que tú lo mueves.
Solo pégate un poquito, mami, que yo quiero enseñarte lo que yo tengo para ti. Lo que tengo para ti. Sé que te va a encantar como me tuyo.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Primetime Studios. Like always, I'm your host, Primetime Phil, and like always, our other host, Gametime Bryan, is in the house as we start training camp for the Dallas Cowboys. And yes, a new season starts, and yeah, you could say that new season started as soon as the Pro Bowl, Super Bowl, all that stuff was over. But really, honestly, some football hitting, I guess, in the sense of it's slow. But hey, guess what? It's football in the air, and it doesn't really matter because here we are. Gametime, how are you doing, sir?
I am fantastic, brother. I am fantastic. We have football back, Primetime Phil. We were just talking about everything other than football, but I'm back, baby. You're back. We are ready. We could talk about actual football on the field. Pads come on Monday. I'm excited, bro. I am so excited about this upcoming season. I can't tell you. I was just texting, or Lloyd was just texting me nonstop. Me and him are going back and forth. We're both hype. Lloyd, Next Level Sports Lounge. If you know, you know. We're hyped about this upcoming season. We are ready to roll. What's up,
Yeah,
man?
I right now I'm just kind of going through. This chat thing works. It doesn't work right today. Guess what? It's working right now. So we're gonna go ahead and
Love it.
and kind of display it a
Makes
little
me look like
bit
You
and
make me look like a college punk. I ain't no
um
punk ass. Yeah, I am.
I basically am happy that I get to put the a little bit of this on display. This is kind of what I do for a living, and honestly, it's really nice to kind of put a spin
This
on
is
it.
what
Kind
Phil
of,
was yelling at me the other night.
I was like, "Look, man, you can be so much better. I believe in you."
Dude, all I asked you was a simple thing, and he's like, "Well, you got to do this, that, and this." I'm like, "I just really was asking you a question, And then you just started fucking setting me up, and I'm like, "Dude, I literally got 5 minutes. Fucking settle down a little bit." In the words of Jerry Jones. But anyway, it's fantastic. That's my brother right there. I don't have a brother, so he is my de facto brother. I don't care what he thinks about
Definitely.
me. I know he
No,
don't
man,
like
I love
that.
you, dude. I like this is a hell of a partnership. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Again, this is
I reached out to you. It's all me. It's all me because I'm the one that started it all. No, I'm joking. I'm watching SummerSlam. I don't know if anybody else is watching it, but I got
it
it
looks
on.
like Loyal is doing some stuff here. He's talking
Yeah,
about.
Loyal.
I was maybe
CM
Loyal. I
Punk.
wasn't saying. No, maybe I read that. Maybe I read that wrong. But either way,
Well, I
I
know
got to
you
go back and
texted
then
me.
watch
There
it.
he is.
What's it on? Because it's always constantly switching. Is it Netflix?
Well, I
What
got
is
the
it?
Super Box because
Oh.
Phil, Primetime Phil, set me up with that. And
And they're
well,
loyal.
James,
Let's
no,
be real. Let's be real. We all know who is loyal.
it
Like,
came from
because I
James.
got 2 of those
Hey.
babies and I'm using them. I love them, man.
Well, real quick, I have a guy, Stan, the guy that I know. We're gonna talk football. Just give me a minute. This is a family here. My buddy Stan, who I was at the hospital with a couple weeks ago, and he had the quadruple bypass a couple years ago. He's way dumber than I am, Phil, when it comes to all this high tech shit. So I gave him a super box, right? And the first hour is like, oh, this sucks, just navigating it, Now he's got 4 of them, Phil. 4 super boxes.
Once you figured it out, it's like
Thinking about doing they have some, some sort of program where he pays a couple grand and then he could sell them. And he goes, we'll use your channel to do it. I'm like, well, I'm down if you're down, so we'll see about that. But yeah, man, Super Box pay-per-view, Phil, and you'll get SummerSlam. Right now, you got CM Punk.
Because I have it on. I have my
CM Punk versus you got to go to pay-per-view. CM Punk versus what's his name? The Nightmare. But anyway, let's talk some football, everybody. Dallas Cowboys put on the pads on Monday. We got to talk about a little something. I don't know what you know, what you don't know. What's your thoughts so far going on with practice? And just to let everybody know, we dodged a bullet. Thank God. We dodged a bullet with PJ Locke. Lockdowns, right, Phil?
Yeah,
Lockdowns.
yeah. I'll never.
We
Every time I'll
dodged a
get it,
bullet
I'll get
with
it.
lockdown, and he has a hyperextended knee. I don't know when he'll be back, but it's nothing structural. It's just a hyperextend. It was a weird play. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a very weird play. So it is what it is. We're gonna have some injuries. You know that. We just hope it's not the season-ending variety, everybody, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, when we talked about some of this stuff on your channel, but it's nice to get this on here with a graphic. Hold on 1 second here. Looks like SummerSlam came up on for me as well too. But when you have a guy like PJ Locke, that was an extension of Christian Parker and being able to coach on the field. I mean, getting guys into place. If Christian Parker's busy with some other guys, he's in there to help kind of just get really honestly everybody on the same page. And I think that's the biggest thing that you want to do is you're getting into training camp, because obviously you want to shake off that rust. You want to actually obviously understand the system if you're a new person coming into it. But and obviously if you're a defense, I think everybody's trying to learn the system. But that again, that's where that PJ Locke and all those guys come in. But I just like to see the news that's coming out. I like to see just, again, bodies getting in there. Obviously, when you see those big plays like, oh, Blue broke one, I'm like, man, that's awesome. Blue broke one. But then again, the first thing I think of is the defense. What happened on the defensive side? Why was the linebacker at the place? What happened on the defensive line? And obviously, when you see the angles, you don't get all that. You don't get the information that you would like. But hey, you did see that somebody made a play that has been struggling for the past year or so. And it's good to see that just people that you haven't seen in a Cowboys uniform start to wear that star.
Yeah, man. Elena Walker's in the house. Hey, Elena, how are you? A long time, Elena.
Yes, I
Don't
haven't
be a
seen you in a
hottie.
while.
Do
Hey,
not hide in the cave. She hasn't been on my channel in a while, but Elena, again, like
welcome
most of
back.
the women, love primetime Phil. So, Elena,
They got
welcome back. I know
they
you're an
have that
Eagle fan,
knowledge.
but
Yes,
we
sir.
still welcome you.
The ones that we
Yeah, I
that
mean,
hang
come
out
on.
here, they got that knowledge as well too. So, yeah, it's what do you say? Prime time.
To keep
It
it
was
low.
the
Hey,
backup
I'm sorry.
defensive line in. Okay, that's good to know. I mean, that's because I couldn't tell because it was just like boom, boom, body. I'm like, okay, who's up there? And so that makes you wonder, who was out of play, who messed that up. But this is the time to make those mistakes. And when you're seeing some of the plays on the receivers, I've seen some nice plays deep. But then the first thing again I think of is the corner. The corner was on the hip. I like it and everything, but still the play was made. So I don't know which way to go. Was it the offense made an amazing play? Yeah, it looks really amazing. But then again, that's an NFL throw, and that corner got beat. So hey, that's kind of the ups and downs. Go ahead.
No pads, right, Phil? I mean,
What's that?
you again. If anybody doesn't know, Phil played at a higher level than I did, right? He played college football.
Some
I'm not
pee
going to
wee
get
football.
specific. He played.
Boom. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I was the man. But no, Phil played at Oregon, backup. Who cares? He was a quarterback. You're on Oregon, Phil. You got to have done something in your life, in as far as football. I'm sorry, you can sit there and poo it all you want. You had to have been whatever to get to that school. So you know as well as I do that. A lot of these plays that Jaden Blue is breaking for a touchdown. A lot of these plays, he's getting tackled. He's getting tackled by the linebacker. How many times you see all the running backs like streaking into the end zone, right? It's just not reality, everybody. Let's wait till Monday. Um, I'm hearing some positive and some negative, and we'll break it down. I was just talking to Lloyd about that. Your thoughts about, oh, well, Jaden Blue ran for a 45-yard touchdown run. That means our defense sucks. Please, look, there's no pads on, right, Phil?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and also, how many times do you see them kind of go up and go to like kind of smack the, two-hand touch kind of thing is happening right now. But they said that, if they did have pads on, that would have been an open thing. But, hearing obviously from our chat that was a backup defensive line, that's definitely good to hear because, not to say anything, but I'm pretty sure that starting defensive line would have definitely been in there. But when you see right before that, I think that drive, you were seeing another backup in there, and that was Phil Maffa, and getting some repetition in there. And then was it Williams in there in that drive? I'm not even sure. I just know that there was a change of pace that all of a sudden happened, which I like.
Yeah, I'm not sure who was in there. You're a little more learned than I am. I don't know. It's been a rough week for me, but yeah, I don't know exactly who was in there. But I like what I do know on the play that Jaden Blue ran. Now, again, he had to hit the line hard. And his cut was incredible. He's come a long way in a year. We'll see what that it
Wow.
transitions to. But let's get to the super chats real fast. My people are showing up. There we go, baby. We're getting him to Dallas. Let's go.
So Haley with the $2 super chat and the awesome sticker. I love it. I love the animated
Super
sticker.
sticker, yeah.
But okay, here we go. Hold on to
Well,
your seat because
I
when you got
promised
dirty,
everybody, I'd put tickets in my cups if you guys super chat tonight. So
I
Tony
appreciate
Boo,
that.
you get two. Dirty Sanchez, you get two. Hallie, you get one. All in the Cowboys Cup.
See,
Sorry,
I
Phil.
have some stuff to give away, but I think they're jerseys that nobody really gonna want. So I'm
I
like,
got you covered, brother.
So Dirty
I'm giving
says,
away
I'm in
shit
the
I shouldn't,
hospital. I
man.
was bit by a rattlesnake this morning. The doctor says it should be about 2 to 3 days of agonizing pain, and then the snake will die of chlamydia. So, yeah, super chat very
Good
well
one,
spent
Dirty.
there. Tony Boo with the
Dirty
$10 super
Sanchez.
chat says, hit the
I want
like.
to
I
party with
appreciate
you, Cowboy. I want to party with Dirty
Insert cash
Sanchez.
or select payment type.
Sonic boom.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support, Brian. Yeah, we're trying to get me to Dallas into this tailgating with Mike Tag and all them. I want to see this Cowboy team. It's definitely a young team. You got, in a sense, I see a lot of the stars, but then when you look at it, and I see the argument on the other side. It's an old team, right? It's a team it's got a couple of years, and then that's kind of it, and then it's going to be broken up. Is it because of the age? Is it because of the youth? Or is it more because of the salary cap? I probably lean on the third one, right? But when you're watching this, the camp, I think that's the biggest thing. It's just seeing some of these guys. We're waiting for somebody to kind of step up from the shadows that you may not have your eyes on. Or hell, let's be real, man. You want to see your guy in the jersey. You want to see them kind of making a play, whether it's recovering a fumble. You saw Gary, pop one out, and then obviously Downs gets the fumble and stuff. Dude, automatically in my mind, I start thinking about the running back, and is not securing the ball as well too. So that's the only bad thing when you have your team going against your team. It's just as much as I love the ups, it's definitely down at the exact same time. And so that's where you see the.
But in the words of Shoddy, iron sharpens iron, right?
Exactly. And Logan's right. Logan Morris says, Phil, everyone looks good on paper, but we all have to look on the football field. And that's crazy. And that's true because, how many times we've seen, I remember, remember Washington years, decades ago, where they got this Dion and Bruce Smith, and they had this amazing roster, and then nobody really could play together. And so, you still got to play together. You still got to put it all together.
Keep talking so I can write these out.
So Jimbo
goes to the Eagle, next level. Lloyd goes 2 entries go into the Cowboys. Go ahead, Phil.
Jimbo says, hit the pin for me, Phil. I won't tell anybody. Love you guys. And Phil, strip club production value. I love it, man. I love it. I'll go ahead and hit that one for you right up in that corner there, kind of showing the subliminal messaging there. I appreciate it, Jimbo, man. Always here giving us support, and I hope that you're doing well. And I hope your team stays healthy because I really love when our whole conference is competitive, and I love the trash talking because guess what? There's times where even out of a left field, somebody can be right because, something happens during the season. So that's what I like about football. And then we got the Next Level Sports Lounge. It says, hit the like for Primetime.
Lloyd.
This year will be different for the Cowboy Nation. And I at least I have some feeling of hope as well, too. I mean, we went into last year. We talked about, we're a playoff team. We're like, yeah, if we, even if we hit double-digit wins, I don't see us as a playoff team. There's still going to be teams that are ahead of us and stuff like that. Now, did we get to that double digits? No, we did not. But obviously, we weren't even in there, even if we got to that spot. That defense was definitely horrendous. And what can you do as a team? All you can do is go out there and try to make the moves that you can. Obviously, you don't have a whole roster that you can choose from. You don't have a draft that you can choose from in that sense. But hey, you got to go out there and you got to make the trades that you can. The other team still got to agree on it. So for all that ability, I think they went out and they got a really good roster, and at least they got some playmakers in different spots that you can at least go, okay, the safety position, we got a playmaker there. Now, will he be playmaker for us? That could be totally different. He could whiff it and not look good in this defense, but at least we went out there and they tried to get certain names. Now, are they done? I think that's the biggest question that we had. What are they done? And I think this week we got a really big answer from Jerry. Steven kind of going up there, kind of cleaning up as Jane Slater kind of does the 1-2 combo and now has the whole NFL media talking. So what do you think about that news as he talks about, this team not being done in the sense of being built?
Well, it was funny. I was talking to Lloyd right before we went live here, and
Appreciate
Hallie had sent me stuff. And, I definitely agree. Listen, this is not I know this is going to be taken the wrong way. DeMarvion Overshown, I don't believe is a middle linebacker. I think that Christian Parker knows that, Phil. That doesn't mean he can't be the green dot, or in Mark Holmes's world, a blue dot, whatever dot the color you want. It's fine. But, and that's a poke at Mark. I know he's watching. But, I believe that the emergence of Jayshon Barham early on, they are throwing anything and everything at this guy, and he's doing nothing but saying, give me more. Again, I talked him up. He may be a bigger impact right now than Malachi Lawrence. And you know how this is going to work, Phil, with Caleb Downs. You know exactly how this is going to work. He plays the safety position, so he's not going to be flashy. What you're not going to see, knock on wood, hopefully, knock on wood, is these big chunk plays and missed assignments like was last year. We led the league by a long shot in points against and plays over 30 yards and stuff like that. So to your point, DeMarvion Overshown has a lot to learn under Christian Parker's scheme, and I don't know. I'm a little concerned. Enter Jordan Brooks, but that's for later. But yeah, man, I like what I'm seeing, but there's going to be some growing pains. But there's no pads, so should I be worried, Phil, or no?
No, not until we see it in preseason, and then people are just kind of whiffing, not being in position at all. I think that's when you kind of have to start worrying as well too. So no, what I like also about being able to broadcast on YouTube, other than you have these fans that you can interact with personally and everything, and you end up meeting later on at these interactions. But you can say names here. You don't have to worry about there's the guy over there. He wears green. You got to kind of add in little hints and stuff like that, where you can say names. I mean, how long have you been talking about Brooks? I think it was the whole season. I was just like, I'm rolling my eyes. I'm like, Brooks, I don't see that happening as a possibility. Max Crosby, oh yeah, man. If in Madden, I'll pick that up in Madden, no problem. But in real life, to me, it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem real. So when you start to hear some kind of, some of that stuff talking and everything, it's kind of crazy. But at the same time, it's you got to kind of ground your feet, because when it comes to us, there's a lot of talk everywhere. What's up?
Look at this. My roll of tickets is empty.
It finally emptied.
We're going to red.
I want the dot to be
started out. This is how it started out.
Whoa!
This is where it's at.
So that's the first time that it actually
no, that's
you
the
use
second
it up?
roll.
Holy cow.
That's the second roll.
Man,
yes, that's the second roll. Should I go red or should I go cowboy blue? We'll go blue.
So are you talking about a fuchsia kind of color? Is that what you're talking about? So fuchsia, I want the dot to be a fuchsia this year. Yeah, man. I mean, if we go neon, I think during those color rush, I think that's always a possibility. Here, I gotta put your super chat up there. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful color. And but does it go with our gear? I don't know. Does it really go with our gear? I'm not sure. It doesn't match our shoes.
You're talking about my gear? That's weird.
So
your gear.
Vinny with the $2 super chat says, "Thank you for your donations." Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Vinny Hagen, my man. I'm gonna go visit Vinny this week. I'm gonna go visit Vinny. So Hallie and Vinny both are going to go in the hopper for the Cowboy Cup. So you're gonna do a lot of talking tonight as I'm doing this.
No, my bad, man. No, you're talking to them. So, no, and so to me, it was very surprising. I got to give Jane again, kind of hearing it and then jumping on it, not really having any other source. I don't even want to say source, but article or news, something to tie it together when the words were spoken. So for her to automatically have jumped on there, I mean that's kind of great job on that. But I mean that's also great to hear too, because when all of a sudden the Ravens backed out, you and I talked about, well, why are we backing out? Why are we doing this? I don't care. I think with him, Crosby, he's the type of guy that if, he was only on the sideline because the Raiders made him. And not to say that sometimes you got to save those type of guys from themselves, and that kind of what pissed him off a little bit. But I just see him being on that field for like the next 2 to 3 years. Are you okay over there? I can't hear you at all.
I'm sorry, I was talking to somebody.
Okay, you look like you're looking at the camera. You look like you're looking at the camera.
I was looking through the camera. I know. I'm sorry. What did you ask me? I'm sorry.
I don't even know anymore, man, because I was like too busy trying to figure out what the hell you were doing. I was like, I was
talking to my producer who was just over the camera.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, you're like,
Elite Commander, what's up, my man? No, yeah. What were you saying? I'm sorry. I lost my concentration with that. Right. That threw me off. Who's that in the chat? And EJ Johnson, DC for life, baby. What's up, Cowboys family? Welcome. If you are my Facebook people, I don't know. I've been since I don't have an X/Twitter account. I've been going hard on the Facebook. So I got a lot of people like messaging me, being my friend. I think I picked up like 500 people in the last couple of weeks. So I hope that you're one of them. This is Cowboy family. We'll have an occasional. We have a bunch of Eagle people in here as well. Eagles Drew is a diehard Eagle, has a YouTube channel, and but Jimbo's here. I think Jimbo's going to break bread with Vinny Hagan at the house. Ooh. And we're going to do a live stream. So, again, I'm looking forward to that. But look at Next Level Sports Lounge.
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, I think this is a good subject to go down. I think he kind of sets it up. So I appreciate the $20 super chat. He says that
4 entries.
Next Level Sports Lounge says, not saying we are, but do you guys think that it's possible to pull off Max and Brooks?
I don't know where you got that from.
Lloyd. Who are you listening to? Who are you listening to, man? Those crazy people. Crazy mailman. So when I look at that possibility, yes, I definitely think it's a possibility. I think Miami, I kind of threw that off the table when Miami did the extension, but now hearing about how they're trying to eat it up to make it a little bit more, irresistible for a team to come out there, make their salary, definitely doesn't take the hit as much because obviously they're absorbing all of that. But I think that makes that a little bit more tempting with the max one. What are the Raiders willing to do? I think they got a really good roster with adding him in there, but where's the temptation there? So I think it depends on what you're giving up. But yeah, I definitely think it's a possibility. You're going to have to definitely, as you make all these moves, blow this up very, soon. But if you start hitting some switches and everything, because there's still a lot of switches that could have been hit. You didn't hit very many when this all began in the beginning of the off season. So I think there's still stuff that you can. You didn't sign the extension, so they were leaving room there. So to me, I didn't understand why they were doing the franchise tag. It makes a little bit more sense now if this is a possibility. But I mean, in the NFL, I think it's always possible. But what are you doing? You're giving up that future. And to me, like Bryan, when you look at these rookies coming into the NFL, when you look at these
roll, man.
When you look at these rookies going into the NFL, they're about 25 years old now, right? So by the time you're getting one contract, you're getting a first.
That's what I was saying, Phil. Exactly right. And again, listen, if like Eagles Drew thinks we're going to be horrible. So if we're in the top 10, then that's one thing, right? If we're in the top 10, then I don't want to trade that pick. But if you look at the draft and you do your homework, there's a lot of 25-year-old players in this upcoming draft. again, Dallas Cowboys didn't draft Akeem Messidor for a reason. Why? Because he was 25. The last 25-year-old player I think we drafted was Terrence Newman. Now, shout out to Terrence Newman. He played long in his career, but that's not normally the case. Howie Roseman, the GOAT in Philly, is the one who started this years ago to the detriment of Brian Dawkins because he let him go. Where you're 30 years old, you don't offer a second contract.
Well, I mean, let's talk about that in that sense too, because when you're talking about these older rookies, they got the rookies. They're still rookies coming into the NFL, having to learn, and just like our guys, even though they're older person now having to learn the NFL, and so how many years is that going to be?
Yes,
you turn around, you give your first round draft pick, maybe another one for a 28-year-old Max Crosby. I mean, that to me is a no-brainer there. So I don't mind giving that up. I'm not doing the whole thing with you're getting rid of Pickens at the same time. I've been hearing that talk. Brian brought us about that, and I understand it. But you're really kind of just you're going from one side to the other instead of leveling yourself up. You're kind of just bringing it over here to this side, and so I don't like it because I think that's what makes that combination is that hopefully when one is not having a great game or one is injured, you still have that superstar on wide receiver. So I still want that. I don't want to get rid of it. I think that's a threat. You have to game plan against it and everything. So it helps our running game. There's got to be a way to get that without giving up. What do you think? You think it's possible?
No, I don't. I don't think it's possible. Here's
just
the
because
deal.
the salary cap, right?
Yeah, exactly. But here's the deal. Jordan Brooks ain't going to cost you squat on salary cap, and Max Crosby's his salary cap hit is very generous, very, very generous. I don't know what the hit is, but he's making $28 million this year. That's far below. Let me ask you, Max Crosby's a top 5 edge rusher in this league. Micah got $47 million. We know how this works. You get paid based on regular season and numbers. Max Crosby is a better player by a lot than Micah Parsons. That's just a fact. Now, if Max Crosby ends up in Philly, I will say the same thing. I'm not just couching this because he's probably coming to Dallas at some point this year. Jerry wants him now. It makes a lot of sense. Now, what I like that what Dallas is doing, Phil, especially with George Pickens, what Broaddus says is they are putting Pickens through the gamut. He has lined up and been in motion a lot. You know what even though the pads aren't on, you can still get an idea of what the player is doing. And he is catching balls over the middle of the field, through the first 4 practices, 4 practices. So that's kind of interesting, right? Last year he was on the outside doing 3 routes, maybe 4, and that was it. And he's good at it, but I don't know if you heard me say this. I do not want the game to come on the line with a 50-50 ball with George Pickens. You know what I mean? I need him to do more.
Well, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, there was a couple of games where the defenses were able to take him out a little bit by game planning stuff, and you don't want him just running a couple of routes from one side or the other side. So yeah, no, I agree. I'm okay with moving him. I'm okay with that's what you did with Lamb, and that's how he kind of started really kind of opening up this offense. And you really need that other guy other than Lamb doing it, other than Turpin as well. So, Drew, with the question, I'm going to go ahead and answer this as well. Question for Primetime. Making a move for Crosby as a team a Super Bowl contender would make. Are the Cowboys Super Bowl contender? Asking for a friend. I think those are one of those things that it makes you a Super Bowl contender. I don't think you're a Super Bowl contender now. I think you can get to the Super Bowl, but that doesn't mean you're a contender. But you're a playoff team. So I think that makes you a Super Bowl contender by that point. I think that's what you're trying to get to by that point. You're trying to bridge that gap there.
Right. Exactly. Again, this time last year, was anybody saying that Seattle was a Super Bowl contender? They were coming off a 5-win season.
Yeah, right? Nobody was putting them in that sense at all. I'd be one of them as well.
I was mocking Sam Darnold, even with all the moves that they did. We're like, yeah, but you got Sam Darnold, So again, I think we're in for a good year. I don't know how far. I think it all depends on how bad we have the injury bug. I do believe that. As far as coming out of camp, we can't afford a lot of injuries in certain spots. We just can't. And I believe what additions are going to be made. again, Vegas has us on the tails on right behind the Eagles, just right behind the Eagles. And every outlet I see nowadays has Dallas. Everybody, they're like the hot pick to win the East. So it's not as though we're sitting there dreaming and hoping and wishing. No, that's a predominant opinion from a lot of outlets. So whether I'm more reserved, Phil. You know that. I'm going to wait and see. I'm just going to wait and see. Use my eyes, and
yeah, I mean, to tell you the truth, like how I feel right now, I feel really good about this team. But then when I see the first 2 games of the season where the actual starters are there, because preseason, again, I want to see people move. I want to see rookies, even if the defense is getting ran over. I want to see that particular linebacker. Where is he at? Like you're not playing all these other corners, so you're going to be playing these really, really depth guys on corner, trying to find pieces just in case you need something later on. So I'm looking at individuals. How did they react when there's a play action? How did they react when all of a sudden the gap opened up and he needed to kind of plug that hole? Pause. What was happening there? So I think there's a lot of questions that need to be answered, and that's what Brian's talking about. Do we have guys running around like chickens with their head cut off, or you guys got cerebral assassins actually making moves and every step means something? What's that?
He's like, it's a trap. Don't take that bet. That's why Gametime won't make multiple. What do you mean? Dude, you act like I'm made of money over here. I'm a hardworking man. You want me to I got, like the other night, I got 9 people. I'll take the bet. Okay, that's $1,000 right there. I'm supposed to lay on the line. You put your money up there, Drew. I mean, it is what it is. I ordered the whiteboard.
What's up, Marcus?
You'll be on it, Drew. Anyway. It is what it is. Whiteboard should be here tomorrow. So with the markers, and I even bought magnets, NFL magnets.
Ooh,
so we're gonna have it here.
Oh, he's gonna illustrate. He's gonna John Madden you guys. Boom, tough acting, acting.
Tough acting. Boom.
Yeah, I love that shit, man. Every time I say
Rice out there.
What's up, D? How's it going?
D Moore, what's up, D?
So no, and so as I get to see this, I mean, even this stuff that I got to see somebody come back. I got to see some people from injuries. How are they moving? How are they fluent? I've been hearing about Bland. I haven't really been seeing it. So I want to see it in motion. But obviously, I don't think Bland's one of those guys you're going to see in the preseason. But there's just so many question marks, and I understand like a guy like Drew and what he talks about. Like when you talk about all those, the amazing Jimmy Johnson and what he did, and that Super Bowl team he put together. Well, guess what? That first year they went 1-15 with a number 1 quarterback with all this type of thing. So I totally get what he's saying, but I really love the pieces that we've put together, and I really think a defense can at least be mid-pack. That means this team can definitely be a threat. Man, that would have been nice to be mid-pack defense last year. That kind of sucks when that's what you're wishing for. But Brian, I think they've done enough. I think they've done enough to at least make a better effort. Now, is that enough to win games at the end? Are you holding people? Are you getting pressure when it matters? That's so many questions, right?
Yeah, I think that they're going to have to make a couple moves, man.
Definitely. I agree with that too.
I think
need a pass rusher.
If they want to win this division, they're going to have to make at least one more move. Probably a linebacker first, and then Max Crosby at the trade deadline. Maybe to us, maybe to somebody else.
Maybe to somebody else.
I would like it that way because I think it's important that we, the more I think about it, I mean, you need a pass rush, but look at what we had last year. We're miles down the road than what we started the season with last year. So, again, I'm excited about where the team's going. The offense is going to be great. I don't know why everybody's wearing a fat head. I mean, everybody you see got a fat head on.
It's a physical practice. That's why.
It's why. Physical shirt and shorts practice, I guess. Everybody's got a fat head on. I hope they don't wear that in the game. CD, you better not wear that fat head in the game.
You never know. You never know. I tend to see some of those guys that wear them and they actually be making plays. So maybe it not be a bad thing. Yeah, CT. That's the truth.
Well,
unfortunately,
listen,
man, that's one of those
every time we turn around, Amon Green, he's only 6 or 49 years old. That's or whatever. It's not. Obviously, it's real. It's real, people. They're not making this shit up. So
Well, and
your
then you
prayers
had
out
some
to them. I
recent
agree.
ones that like passed away as well too with some of that. So yeah, man, that's all you can do is start to do these preventions and everything as well. So, and unfortunately, as much as we complain about these type of practices and everything, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to just stop player injuries from happening, especially with those type of ones. But I mean, I think the biggest thing that you could have done, I think they did. And unfortunately, it lessens the game of excitement. But man, not having kickoff returns, people going full speed at each other,
Yeah.
I think that's definitely going to help a lot. They've done some stuff to try to make that a little bit more exciting. We've seen some breakaways. So it's going to be interesting in what football does going forward, trying to prevent a lot of this stuff as well too. But hey, man, like at least they're putting in an effort. It's so much money that gets made. That's why a sport like this isn't just going to go away.
Yeah. Yeah. Drew, did you get CJ get Carter off the today in practice? I hate to see that,
Yeah.
Logan. Again,
Yeah.
I don't want to see
They say
CJ
that
Gardner-Johnson.
he strained his ankle or
A
something like
calf
that.
or
Yeah,
oh, okay.
calf.
But
Oh, it may have
that
been in
didn't
calf. It might have been in calf. You might be
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the John Gruden NFC East thing. I'm halfway through it. It literally was
No,
3 hours. Did you? Yeah,
no, I
you have to
haven't.
check it out. He does a great breakdown of Dallas. He does. He screwed up a couple things, but he did a very good breakdown of the Cowboys. And you know, if you know, go give it a watch. If you're looking for content, it was a good. He
Yeah, I
he
might look at
he
it.
digs into everybody. And that's everybody for next level watched it. And
And I
you
did you.
know, we could talk all you want, but you got to know something about football,
Mm-hmm.
Momo. Sorry, brother. You need
Yeah.
to watch and learn about something.
Clemente
So,
points out, he goes, 49ers lost their wide receiver for the season for surgery. Pectoral type of
yeah,
something, right?
Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah,
Ricky, you
he's not
shout out
had a
to
good
Pearsall.
man. As soon as he got drafted, he's just not had a good luck when it
But you
comes to
know
that
what I
stuff.
said,
And
Phil?
he's a good receiver.
They should have been balls deep on George Pickens. Sorry, ladies. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
they should have been deep
But they got
on
Debo Samuel now.
I mean, again, when all this shit is being talked about and spewed across the board regarding George Pickens, he was available to all 32 teams to negotiate a deal,
Yeah.
and teams like Commandos who have unlimited funds and the 49ers, right? I get it. You just deal with Brandon Ayuk, and that obviously CTE is starting to set in on with that man. It's the only thing I can think of where he's on something. They should have been in on George Pickens. They're not, and it's their loss is our gain. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh man. Yeah, it's very, very tough.
What's up, Kid Cowboy? How you doing, brother?
When you have this coaching staff, I think that to me gives me a little bit more confidence than anything. I think this is something that needs to be talked about just because um what I love seeing is when I've seen some of these pictures, I love to see the hands on the players, like they're showing you where do you place your hands, how you do stuff, like, and it's easier to coach as well in slow motion when things aren't happening. But again, repetition, this is kind of what forms habits. But the fact that you're right in there, you're talking to them, you're talking about maybe something, a weakness in their game. This is what you need to do. That's what you're really explaining. This is what you did. This is how you need to adjust. And let's be real, we needed a whole heck of a lot more of that last year when this defense was running around. Didn't know whose ass they were looking at. Was it the running backs or their defensive linemen? So they just either way, it was one or the other because it just seems like they were always looking at the back of somebody as they were running for a touchdown. So this team definitely has a long ways to go. But guess what? I mean, even if they improve by 5 points, 5-6 points on defense, I mean that's going to be something big, hopefully down the road. But I think this offense, I think you've said it, Drew's mentioned it as well too. This team's got to score some touchdowns. How are you feeling about this team going into this season with the weapons they have, scoring touchdowns?
Yeah, well, it's funny because what they've been really working on is red zone stuff. They were not good in the red zone. Okay, they were not. So they're working a lot. Red zone, red zone, red zone. When the pads come on, look for more red zone. I got my eyes squarely set on play calling by Brian Schottenheimer, mixing it up. Again, mixing it up. I know Drew hates when I say this, but what the hell is a Flournoy? Ryan Flournoy balled out last year. So Ryan Flournoy playing the slot on the normal, but you do need to get guys moving like they do with CD, who still played 65% of his snaps on the outside last year. You need to get Pickens on the move more. You need to be a little bit more versatile. Less snaps for Cavante Turpin on the outside. You know, Mingo is showing up. Are we going to have a Mingo sighting? Mingo has been unbelievable without pads. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. But, it's like a lot of positives. There's a couple negatives. And he touched on it early, but it's kind of hard, to really know until the pads goes on. So I'm excited, man.
I'm excited about more football. I think that's the thing. Consistent football. You don't just not a camp. All of a sudden they go away. Couple weeks later, you're getting something else, and then it's right there, man. It's happening right now. Next week, next week is the Hall of Fame game. So there's football there, right?
Off next week because of that. I thought maybe I was going to that, and I got to put in my leave months in advance, so I'm off. So.
And you're hoping Darren Woodson was going to get in, but
yeah, I was hoping Woodson was going in. So.
I think Next Level Sports, I think that was the kind of crazy where they're talking about that Milton throw as well. I mean, yeah, again, like he will throw one out of 7 that is like, bam, you're like, oh my goodness, that was beautiful. But those other ones, when he throws a slant, it looks the exact same as that ball that happened. So
that's the problem. He takes his head off. You see the receiver running down with his head. Yeah, he'd take it off. Did you see that video where a dude was walking by Milton's house? It was like a UPS driver or something. He goes, "Throw me the ball," and he almost takes his hands off.
No.
He's like, "Let her rip, Joe." Joe Milton's friend was behind him. He goes, should I be nice? He's like, nah, he's tall. He thinks he's all that. Just let her rip. He almost took the dude's hands clean off. Joe Milton's got a gun. He just don't know where it's always going. If he could somehow just take a breath and the flying mind. What's going on, everybody? How are you? I haven't seen you in a while.
So
Marcus Blackman.
So as we go in there, I think going into preseason, what are you going to be looking for to you? I think, is there some names that you're going to be looking for in particular? Like maybe the tight end, Michael Trigg, and see how he's going to be able to perform. Is there obviously I just took a name, but what are the names you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to hearing about Savon Ravel. Okay. I'm looking forward to hearing about Jaden Blue. I'm looking forward to hearing me personally. I'm looking forward to hearing about Michael Trigg, like you said. I mean, these are areas where it's going to have a direct effect of who makes the team or not. If Michael Trigg steps up, bye Luke Schoonmaker. If not, it's another year of Luke Schoonmaker, and hopefully you get Trigg on the practice squad. He was an undrafted guy because of off the field issues. But if he can develop into that red zone guy that we want, then that's just a bonus. But yeah, those guys, I think. I mean, I don't know how much run Jade Blue is actually going to get. I think he needs to get some run in the preseason. He only played three preseason games, so I don't think you'll see a lot of Javante. I don't think you'll see a lot of or studs in these games. Look out for August 11th, the Rams joint practice. That's a huge day. And we'll know whether DeMarvion Overshown can, in fact, play the middle linebacker. But yeah, those are some names on the surface that I'm looking for. How about you?
Yeah, I want to see some of these tackles. I mean, you wouldn't think so, but I want to see these tackles in the sense of the backup Drew Shelton, just to see what you possibly have as a future with him. I'm not, again, never really totally sold on Guyton. When I look at that draft, I look at more of the BB was that guy picked up there. But when you look at this team overall, I'm looking at my local guy as well. I'm looking at Devin Moore. I want to see how some of these corners are going to play. I want to see. Do you think Downs going to? I would imagine Downs going to play here and there. It's going to be hard to keep him off the field, but I would be okay with him not playing at all. But just to see him kind of, maybe a drive or two, I think you
Malachi
might see him.
Lawrence needs snaps.
I think yes, I want to see him as well too. Barham. I think all these rookies. I think those young guys. Obviously D Winters and all those kind of guys are going to do their thing, and I'm not too worried about that part of it. Even though maybe I should be, but when you look at, I think the most interesting parts are all those young guys. How are they going to play with the NFL speed? I know it's going against other backups and everything, but when those lights are on, the stadium a little bit bigger, the fans are a little bit. I know college ball is really loud as well too, but something about an NFL atmosphere as well too. So I think I want to see who we have back up. Is Turpin going to be back there playing kick return? No. So what are the opportunities? Who's going to be back there? Who's going to get a chance? Does that mean that a guy like Turpin is on the chopping block later on if you do find a star, if there is a backup? So backup running back. I think there's just so many stories and so many directions. I think that's what's going to make the preseason really, really fun. And nothing against Momo and all that. I look forward to this, and that's the reason why, is because I get to see some guys that aren't going to be playing in the NFL maybe for a year or two, but I get to see them play some football. And if I see them later on going into free agency, I was like, oh, I remember how that guy played in the preseason. I think that really says a lot. So
yeah. Next Level Sports Lounge with these super chat. Revel had great coverage on Pickens, and Pickens still catching. Yeah, again, that doesn't mean that it's on Revel. That's why Dallas is so special. And to Eagles Drew's point, Gotti. We got to talk about Gotti. Greatest offense there is. A little corny, right?
Yeah,
a little cringe.
But you'd rather have it that way than heads in the dirt
than not have it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it's one of those things where you're like, you kind of roll your eyes a little bit, but you're like, I get it. I'd rather
Eagles
my
Drew
team
says,
be that
"Roy,
way
this
and
is
feel
his rookie
confident.
Season. Well, let's just keep it real then. Fine. Then please say the same about your rookies, right? That's all. Don't, you can't have it both ways. Our rookies are good. Yours suck. I mean, there is a world where our rookies are going to be good and yours not so good, but I don't know that.
Yeah.
But they're all rookies. This is why we're saying I would like to go out and get a Jordan Brooks, because Jay Sean Barham, who I think will be our starting middle linebacker, come game one, is a rookie. Caleb Downs, I think, is about as smart.
Let me say, until I see these linebackers, the outside linebackers, let's say more, until I see them going against other offensive tackles like the Rams, the Saints, and stuff, going into preseason, all that, I definitely reserve a lot of judgment when I hear about the outside linebackers just really looking good this preseason and everything. I don't feel that I don't have the highest regards when it comes to our tackles. So is it more our tackles aren't looking good against them and they're making them look a little bit better? Once they go against an all pro tackle, is it going to be like, bam, you just stops and you can't go anywhere? So it's not iron sharpening iron at all. It's just a dude hitting a inner tube for something. I don't know. It's just a pull tube. Because you need some better tackles, you need some better football, and I don't care if you're taking the tight end or you're taking the fullback and you're really kind of using them to help chip block. Then that's something you got to do. That's something they did with Parsons. They really kind of started doing that holding and doing all that stuff, because these are the stuff that you're going to have to hold in the game. But if you're going against average tackles, I mean, to me, you're just going to get average, really. So sorry, that was a little bit long-winded, but I came back around. You got it.
You were good. Yeah, man. Again, I'm interested. Again, you asked me, what names I'm looking at. I'm looking at. How's D Winters going to look? Is he really a backup in this league? Is he going to be good? DeMarvin Overshown, I don't see him as a middle. He's more of a will type guy. Can he stay healthy? Well, but for that matter, we got to worry about Dak staying healthy. But yeah, all the above, man. Obviously, the Eastern Carolina wide receiver that we drafted. Looking forward to him. Trayshawn Holden. I'm looking forward to him.
You,
there's a lot of guys.
So CZ with the $5 super chat says Gotti will be get the fuck out of here by Thanksgiving, and Vinny, don't share this chocolate. Don't share his chocolate.
CZ goes in the Eagle.
I love it, man. That's very, very nice.
Thank you, CZ. Thank you, brother.
Next Level Sports, I appreciate that. Next Level Sports says need Tyler Guyton to take every rep. He's been practicing at right tackle with the second team. Has he? Yeah, that'd be
I didn't
interesting.
know that. So that's knowledge there,
Ooh,
next
that's a
level.
very
I
good one.
also know that Shelton has been working at right tackle as well.
You want all of them. You want. Who's to say they're not working? But hey, how do you look over there? Does your footwork look a little bit better? Do you feel a little bit more comfortable? Maybe that's what it is. It's just, ooh, this is it. It's like a nice little ass cushion that was like sitting there with an indention. Just like, ooh, here it is. This is where I felt like it back in college. This is where I feel like that's what put me up there. So yeah, I mean, I could definitely see them taking reps. And that's what was it, Booker? I heard Booker was going to be taking snaps at center as well too, right? You want to get your guys.
Yeah, Booker. Yes, they like to cross train these guys among many positions. So if God forbid, you're prepared. You got TJ Bass taking snaps at center as well. So yeah, I think that's normal protocol. But
No, I like that you're trying it. Again, maybe in the long run, Tyler Smith's a left tackle. Guy in that next step. He's just your swing for now, and then until maybe Steele kind of walks away or whatever happens there. So I like that you're at least shuffling some stuff and looking to see what you got, because I mean you can't tell me that your best 5 guys out there if you haven't put them out there in the other positions and stuff. So especially if you kind of start putting them into other roles where they're having to go against these guys like Quentin Williams and everything, that's going to test them. That's going to really test them, because with those guys going against Cooper Beebe, you don't think that's making him a better center? Heck yeah, that's making him better.
yeah.
You already have a great two, Tyler Smith and Tyler Booker on each side of him. So I look forward to the offensive line and where it's going, especially that interior. But tight end, I think you've nailed it too. So go ahead.
I wanted to talk about real quick. I know Mark's going live at 9. He had to move his live stream from last night to tonight. Not that we're stopping, but I do understand that 2026 Leadership Council. I don't know if you're aware. Dak Prescott on the offense is Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Javonte Williams, Jake Ferguson, Tyler Smith, and Tyler Booker. Second year lineman is a part of this leadership council. This again, and I saw John Gruden's video. John Gruden said Dallas's interior 3 is the best in the league, and I would definitely agree with that. With Cooper Beebe, Tyler Smith, and Tyler Booker, I think they are at the top of the league, and they're only getting better. Do not move Tyler Smith if at all possible, please. So, but real quick with the super chat, Joe, the sports pro. What's up, Joe DeMasi? What's up, brother? The Cowboys should have drafted the Atlanta guard out of Syracuse over Mozzie. He got paid today. Yes, he was a tackle. That would be Matthew Bergeron. That was the guy I was talking about.
I remember that was the talk. They was talking back and forth. That was the argument.
Remember,
right?
Will McClay stood on a table and said, "Give me Mozzie." Will McClay has to be held accountable for that pick. For all the good thing he's done, was not
we
so good.
We remember the bad ones as well too, Will. Oh my God, that was a bad one.
But what's your thought on and I'll get to the defensive ones, but there's more offensive ones. Dak, CD, Javonte, Jake, Tyler, and Tyler. Your thoughts?
About them individually or
leadership council?
The leadership council.
I mean, Tyler Booker, second-year guy. He's an absolute stud.
Yeah, I mean, but that was what we were talking about. To me, before going into last year, you just told me that, rookie kind of leading your team, I would, laugh. But then as you met him, you heard him, you heard how he was back in college. That wasn't a very big surprise that he was going to be one of those leaders. To kind of put that into motion in there in the second year does not surprise me at all. He just has that energy about him. I think there's certain guys where, hey, you have a leader. Maybe he's more reserved. He kind of shows you what he does on the field, and that's what he's doing. Then some guys are, hey, I show you more with the words that I say, the inspirational stuff I talk about. And then you got guys that do both. You know, you had a Ray Lewis type of guy that was, man, you love to hear him talk. A guy that got you motivated, but you also knew him. Then he knew that he was going to smack somebody in the mouth. The other team knew that he was going to smack somebody in the mouth. You were just hoping it wasn't going to be you. So how they motivate their team, how are they different leaders? I think you can kind of point to each one of them and say they could probably all be different types of leaders. I got to give Shadi credit a little bit by, you know, other than some of them obviously being some of the choices, but I think all of them have something different that they bring.
Yeah. Again, obviously Dak, CD. That's why everybody. I mean, CD gets a bad rap. You know, CD's been there on the jugs machine at 7:30 in the morning every day before practice. I mean, you have again, the dude's a tireless worker. I could appreciate that. Javante is just a class act. You know, he finally got over the hump of staying healthy. Tyler, I love it. But on the defensive side of the ball field, you got Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark are both a part of the leadership council, both leaders of men, and they're on the same team. I mean, they're humble guys. Yet they're class acts, if that makes any sense. Rashawn Gary was named part of the leadership council. He's coming here, Phil, with a chip on his shoulder. And Jalen Thompson, not rookie, but a newly acquired, Jalen Thompson, and he's always around the football. He's just always around the football. So, your thoughts on those? Those are our defensive leadership council: Quinn, Kenny, Rashawn, and Jalen. Your thoughts that this is a coach's collective thoughts that do this.
Yeah,
these are a bunch of leaders.
I think the only one that kind of surprised me in some way, I guess, would be Thompson, just because, I mean, how much has he been in there? How much, do people know him? But I guess they feel comfortable with that, to be able to do that above other guys. When you look at the defensive guys, Booker on the offensive side last year, would that have been a Caleb Downs kind of situation where if he would have been a leader, you'd have been like, okay, I get it. But Downs, again, maybe going to be something next year. But when you look at Gary, definitely a chip on his shoulder. He hears the talk, and they have fuel as well too. The moment that he, again, and I've made this point, but the moment that he became that main guy, we got to start focusing on Gary. Boom, he was eliminated from the game. So yes, he has some stepping up to do. He has some history to kind of rewrite in that sense. But when you look at these other two, those defensive linemen, man, I'm not really surprised at all. Those guys, when you hear them talk, it's very intelligent talk as well. They know football. Even in the sense that they try to kind of bait them a little bit with the contract talks and hey, you got Carter over there as well. Does a great job of handling that too. So just a really good. That's the extra stuff when it comes to that leadership as well. So not surprising when it comes to that. Again, maybe a little bit surprising when it comes to Thompson, just because, when you look at his film, I love his film. I'm like, okay, I'm seeing him. Yeah, he's always around the ball. He knows where he needs to be. He's not out of position. Is that going to happen here? I mean, I've gotten excited about a Vanderjack. Remember that kicker? I was like, the best kicker in the NFL history. And then all of a sudden it became the most inaccurate kicker in NFL history. So does that translate all the way over? No, but when a guy plays good football, and you see that history there, you're thinking that instincts are going to kick in when he's on that field. So I like that when you look at the odds are more stacked that he's going to be good. But again, he's got to go and play the football games. So that to me would be the more surprising one. But again, I'm not in the locker room. I don't see how he is interacting with everybody. When you look at a PJ Locke not getting that, knowing the coaching history and all that, the staff, that does say a lot. That Thompson was the one that was picked in that safety room. So let's go forward with these guys.
Chris Dooley with the super chat. Time Brothers activated. I just got from Washington training camp today. What a difference a year makes. Defense, speed. We have is very scary.
Good.
Listen, Chris, they are the enigma to me. I think you guys are going to be very good, and I actually think you're going to go into Philly week 1 and win because. I think they're going to be going through. Your offense is good enough.
You
got some stuff. They're going to be going through a few things. I really think you beat Philly week 1. Now I don't know about
And
week
then,
2. I'll probably have Dallas winning, but
yeah,
that's just my
still, there's a
opinion.
chance that they
Way
can.
too early prediction, Chris.
Yeah.
But I was talking to Phil before we went live, and we're talking about the draft. And Mark's like, "What? You know?" I was looking at rooms. I'm like, "Yeah, shit, everything's pricey as shit." And Mark's like, "I'm 10 minutes from the speed line. You guys are coming and staying over my house, and then we'll drive 10 minutes to the speed line, which dumps you right in the middle of the draft." Well, guess what, Chris? You're coming to hang out too. You can hang out at the house as we live stream day 2, and
I agree
that'll
with that,
be a
Logan.
blast.
We agree as well too. I mean, with division Giants, the way that they have, neighbors not being there, that might be a hard one. But even
Yeah,
with that, I mean, division rise,
I
it's
don't
always
buy
a
that.
possibility. But I'm not gonna
Yeah,
say it would.
actually,
But
we could lose week 1. I'm going, and my son's 3-0, so I doubt it. Sorry, Jesse, but it could happen. It could
well, that's why they
happen.
play the games, right? I mean, we've seen
That's
things
why they play
less,
the game.
but I mean, they could end up being an amazing dominant team and still lose to the Giants in week 1. So,
Uh, I would not predict it though.
no, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't put my money on that. And
You might. You might. You're a little suspect.
I
You'll
do.
go
You
right
never
against
know which
Dallas.
way I'm going to go with some of these picks sometimes, and I surprise you.
know.
But to me,
Because
if I had to put it
you-
right now, I would be putting the money on us as well too. So, and I haven't seen
Let
us
me
play.
get
I haven't seen us
to,
practice.
what was I going to get to? I was going to. Oh yeah, Brian Anger. He's the last leadership council guy. The punter, Brian
The
Anger.
punter, he's got no activity. He's just like, hey man, well, we got something for you. You
Brian
could be a
Anger
leader.
was unbelievable last year.
Dude, he's been unbelievable
Like his numbers were like returns. He's had less. He could count on how many returns he's had on one hand last year. Thank God.
he's
or else he
amazing
would-
with the sideline. He's
The hell's Brock Lesnar doing? Jesus Christ, he's ripping up the ring. Anyway, sorry everybody. oh, I didn't tell you. Chris Dooley's working on another video for us.
nice, Chris. I appreciate it, man, and I'm glad that you were able to go to the training. That's something that's nice because you see the videos, but when you're there and you get to see people in motion, you're seeing how people are reacting. Yeah, I mean that's awesome. I mean, you don't even have all your offensive guys there, right? You got some offensive guys out still. I mean, how's your quarterback looking? I think there's a lot of question marks there. So
Or did he put on a little weight? No, his Jaden is Jaden, right?
looking like he just came off the flu, just like ugh. So no, that's great. I think. How have you seen? That's one thing I don't think I've noticed is the crowd and Oxnard been good.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know yet.
Like I've seen it in the sense that when they showed them coming out, I think they were getting a really
Yeah.
big ruckus and stuff like that, which is awesome to see. But we talked about that. I
We
mean, we definitely talked
described it a
about
lot.
this team. We have a lot more question marks where people weren't going to want to see them, live. You got some guys on defense that you're excited about as they're coming out. Hey, Quinn, hey, Caleb. It's not just on the offensive side of the ball. Last year, who the hell were they yelling at? Like. Other than Osa, I think that might have been kind of your one guy. Murray. I don't think they were yelling for Murray last year as well too. So like Bryan on Case, I think it says a lot going into training camp. You're looking a lot different than you did last year. You kind of had to wait a little bit on somebody's desperation to get a nice, good defensive tackle. You had to give up some pieces in the sense of Micah Parsons to really start to form this defense into at least a formidable defense. I would say I'm not going to say dominant yet, but I at least a team that can go out there and play some football because golly, it was really embarrassing to watch this team last year. Anytime you're going to see a highlight tape, you're going to probably see the Cowboys defender in that highlight tape, and it's going to be terrible for the next couple of years. Bryan, how are you feeling? Anything you want to talk about? I mean, we've been kind of gone for an hour.
I think we're good, brother. I don't
really
good,
think
man.
we can
I
kind
think-
of, we could always
not
debate
much.
stuff, but yeah, it's
Yeah, I think what we do is we reset, and hopefully we're back next week, and we go over a week worth of practices. But again, all they've been in is his shorts and t-shirts. Everybody, so it is what it is. I mean, they're going hard. I'll tell you that, Phil. We are really going hard. He has them working, but just worried about the injury once you put the pads on. I just hope he can stay healthy. We can't afford injury in certain areas. You asked me. I'm looking forward to the guys who didn't. I'm looking forward to if Savon Ravel can step up like he's he's flying around. Him and Bland are both looking good, And then you got a sneaky guy like Kobe Durant, who was the best corner on the Rams last year. They went out and they just,
They went out and made a
unloaded.
move.
And
Yeah, they went out and made a
yeah,
move, and they went out
made
and got
multiple
Thompson.
moves, and
Yeah.
he slipped through the cracks. And
Yeah.
I watched his interview, and Kobe Durant he led the NFL in playoff interceptions. He's going to be a big part of this team. I think, Phil, I think that they see Kobe Durant kind of like a Jordan Lewis type. They actually have him playing in the slot a little bit.
I'll tell you one thing: if Durant somehow can play some ball, if he can ball here, people will forget about the whole number thing. They'll be like, "Yeah, you keep that number 2." Like just keep it.
Yeah,
As long as you're doing some shit, we don't care. Like it's like, but as soon as you aren't, man, they're gonna be
that if people crap on and they don't know what they're talking about. Again, he was the Rams' best corner last year. Go do your homework. Dallas got him, for a 1 year guaranteed contract. Okay. So he's playing for a contract, but he loves what he's doing, man. I'm excited about him. There's a lot of guys like that, which is why I think coaching matters, and that'll be where we lie. If CP is what we think he is, then I think we're going to be just fine.
Yep. So Bryan, I appreciate you coming through. Here we go. Weekly. This is gonna be weekly. We're gonna be trying to bring this, whether it's Friday, Saturdays. That's the only thing that's unpositive is I don't know for sure sometimes what days that we're gonna be jumping on here. Next week it might be Friday or Sunday. I think I got something on Saturday, but we'll see. So Bryan, anything you want to say to the folks before we get out of here?
No, man. Everybody have a good Sunday. I don't think I might do a video, but I don't think I'm doing a live. Maybe tomorrow night, possibly. I don't know. Probably not, everybody. So enjoy your Sunday. Maybe I'll hop on with Mark or Will for a little bit. But listen, football's back. Everybody enjoy. I hope everybody's team stays healthy. We know they won't. I hope that we don't, draw the short straw. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. So.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody with the super chat. I mean,
I'll try, Jimbo.
And jumping in there. And Bryan, I appreciate you extending that out, trying to kind of get those funds together so we can go on a trip in November, watch some of these Cowboys, and I like the team. I like where it's going. Again, compared to last year, where my hopes were, kind of how I was feeling about it, I was like, oh, there's a lot of question marks. I feel definitely better about this team being a good defense.
Thanks, Joe.
I feel better. Obviously, we haven't played a single game. The guy hasn't coached a single defensive play. But that's all you can do right now until a year from now where we can judge it and how it was. We won't know. We won't know until each week. Even if they start playing amazingly well, I mean, is that them, or is that just a shadow of what's going on? Has nobody figured it out because it's still new? There's still going to be questions, even if you do find success, and even if you don't find success, there's going to be a lot more questions, right? So, Bryan, I appreciate you coming through. I appreciate you, spending the time here, coming back down to Primetime Studios, of course, weekly basis now. And I appreciate everybody with the super chat and everybody coming through with your opinions because honestly, that's what makes this really work. So, guys, everybody, Bryan. Don't forget to do what?
Ring that bell.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. I didn't know if you remembered what it was. You're gonna be like, wipe your ass. I don't know. Take it easy, guys. Peace.
Hey, we know each other. He's a friend from work.
What you do? You're like a little screw loose type of guy, and I thought that's how I am. So I'm digging it, big guy. I am.
Who are you?
You.
No, not me, you.
Yes, I am you.
Just answer the damn questions. Who are you?
Gametime Bryan, otherwise known as the mailman here.
Cool name. Superpowers?
I don't know what it is yet, but it could be a lot of things.
Come on, are you gonna tell me who that is?
Primetime Phil, and of course my co-host, Gametime Bryan.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this place is going to explode. $100,000, I don't even need to hear it.